Shalom, Cosmic Family. The Cosmic Professor is channeling live from the cosmos, and today we're here to continue on with the 12th house series. So, we stopped off last week at Sagittarius, the 9th house, and we spoke about how it is all about growing, expanding, traveling, learning, right? And now we are at the 10th house, which is ruled by Capricorn. And it seems that Capricorn and Saturn, the ruler of Capricorn, has a love-hate relationship, right? I spoke about this a bit last week, or I think maybe 2 weeks now. The time be getting so muffled together. And it's funny because Capricorn and Saturn rules time. But we spoke about, when I made the video for Saturn retrograde, how Saturn doesn't have the best relationship because it's such a heavy energy, it's such a restrictive energy that most people tend to put all their life problems onto Saturn and kind of question their relationship with Saturn, right? Though this is no doubt, as an astrologer, the house that I get the most on. Probably it'd be this house or the 7th house, right? 7th house, dealing with relationships, right? Ruled by Venus, so people will inquire a lot about their love life. So again, dealing with Venus or their 7th house, and they will inquire about career. These are two notorious questions as an astrologer, and I'm sure other astrologers out there get the same thing: love and career. So, it's, even though it has a love-hate relationship, the love is a huge part of it, because we also want to know, we all want to know, like, what will I be, right? How can I set something stable for myself? And am I wasting my time in my current occupation, right? That's most people's thought process. And the 10th house isn't just about career, okay? That is one of the main factors. It rules career because it is aligned with what they call the MC, right? Your midheaven, right? Which is the sun at its highest point when you were born. And so the sun being at its highest point, we think about it like this, like a rising. You get to the peak, right? And when you're at that peak, that's your legacy, that's your impact, okay? And so people can feel that energy most exuding off of you. It's like the most lasting memory that they have of you, okay? And that is why it rules career, just an analogy. So, or I don't know if the word for that would be metaphor. It doesn't matter. Moving on. It also rules our relationship with masculine energy and our father, okay? Because Cancer, as we spoke about when we were on the 4th house, it rules home, our roots, but also our mother, because it is ruled by the moon. It is feminine. So that is the house where you look at any situation that you got going on with your mother or your mother side of the family. You can get a bit of insight into that. And then the 10th house would be where you would like to go. We would look into to see your relationship, get insight of your relationship with your father, and look into a bit of your father's side of the family, okay? And that's something I would say that has helped me out a lot, like analyzing my own chart and analyzing others' charts as well. It's been very helpful to see kind of get some explanation of why I went through certain things with my father and my mother, right? So that's important. Moving on. Of course, career field, isn't just about what occupation may I take, okay? Because that's great, right? Some people, they're in need of guidance. They want to know that they're not wasting their time again, and they want to know where their skills is most needed, what niche they fit in. They need a little bit of direction. I always, for some reason, equate the 10th house to the North Node, because the North and South axis. I mean, when you think about it and go from house 1 to 10, it always sit like, that's how it sits in my head, but it's not always like that. Like some people north and south node is in the ninth and third house, or in the fourth and in the fourth house, in what's the fourth house, Cancer, in 10th house, right? And then, you know, always flipping and reversing. So it doesn't matter, but that's always how I see it, because it's a big part of our life, of course. But career is not the point of that, because Saturn is all about our social responsibilities. So it rules government, right? And political organizations and things of that sort, which are meant to kind of keep things stable, right? To keep systems in place so that way we can live a normal functioning life, right? And that's kind of the same understanding that I get from the 10th house when I think about career. Not just like your field, this is what I like to do, but your impact, how you will impact other people, okay? What you are meant to achieve in that. That's what the 10th house as well talks about, okay? And connected to career as well, that will build what we call social reputation, okay? So all of that together is what you will be known as, again, your legacy, your impact, right? Like you guys moving on forward in the future, right? Depending on how I impact you guys will remember me for that, okay? But you can think about that on a much larger scale when we're talking about the 10th house, okay? Now, in regards to the 10th house, everybody is not going to have the same level of publicity, because I know that's what some people mistake the caliber of the 10th house to be, especially with certain planets. You always think publicity, but it doesn't have to look like publicity and being known by the most people, impact millions of people, but it can be more effective than that in a way where you don't have that much fame, okay? If you have Jupiter in your 10th house now, you can definitely consider yourself in that niche of like publicity. That's something that may be destined for you, okay? Venus as well, if you have Venus placement there, that may be something that you are known for. You can be an influencer of some sort, right? But if you have a planet like Mercury or your sun or what else, Mars, it doesn't, you may even have a stellium with all of them, but it does not mean that you're going to have publicity because of these planetary placements, okay? Even with Jupiter and Venus, it'll always depend on the aspects. I say this in every video. It will always depend on the aspects, the sign, okay? It'll always depend on that. If it's debilitated, you may say, well, I got Jupiter in my 10th house, but I'm not really known for anything. Well, you have to see how your aspect is being, how Jupiter is being aspected, and then you can know how to make the most of that placement. Because if it's debilitated, you're not doomed. That just means you have to kind of, that means there may be something that you're not seeing that's stopping you from being your greatest version, okay? It's trying to help you grow. It's trying to encourage you, right? We always look at like squares and oppositions as like, keep that away from me, but no, they're there to push you, help you grow and mature, right? I even know that with trines and conjunctions and sextiles, they may seem like a blessing, but they're not as much as a blessing as some people think. Because when your gifts are a lot of people have, you hear the saying, they say talent beats, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard, right? In that way, I'm saying that you can have a gift, but because you're so comfortable with your gift, you never use it to do anything. You understand? So squares serve that purpose of making you uncomfortable, so that way you can grow wisdom. Not only be good at what you do, but grow wisdom, because you have to go through so much to unlock your gifts. You understand? So don't take debilitated aspects as all negative, and don't take like positive aspects as all positive, okay? Apply them in, try to take your emotions out of it and apply them in a sense where, okay, you can see it from all aspects, okay? Don't only look at it from one. So moving on from career, pretty much covered everything that I wanted to cover about the 10th house. Also, it can deal with time, right? Because Saturn is the ruler of time, karma, organizations. If you have strong 10th house placements, you may be dealing with like not the normal organizations, or you may be of a high status in a certain organization, things of that sort. Because I feel like strong house, people with strong placements in the 10th house, they can be business owners. They have a lot of ambitions and things that they're working towards, and they really want to build it for themselves, or they're serious about building it in a fitting organization. Okay, not just no little McDonald business, but something fitting for them of their caliber, depending on that sign and things of the nature. And the 10th house can change so much depending on sign. Like Cancer in the 10th house can be something like interior designing or home health aid, right? You're working with the older people and things of that nature, taking care of people, social services, things like that. Then you have Gemini in the 10th house. You can be you will really be an entrepreneur because your hands is in so many things, right? Then you have Taurus in the 10th house. You may be dealing with more lifestyle, slow vlogs, things of that nature. Then dealing with what else? Dealing with what other sign? Leo in the 10th house. You may be someone that's an actor. You're into acting. You're into making videos such like this, right? Or anything where you're putting yourself out there and performing, right? You might be a performer. And then you see it can just change. Depending on the sign, the energy would change so much. You understand? So, and these are just general career fields for those signs that I pick. It can get so extensive. You can write lists for each zodiacs. Okay, so I always remember sign is important, planetary placement is important, in aspects and transits. Okay, all those things will decide the phases that you're going through, where you are at with your career, and what you need to be doing, and things of that sort of nature. Okay, and again, as far as your relationship with your father, why it's going the way that it's going, what transits going on right now, and what placements do you have. Okay, so other than that, I think I pretty much covered everything. I will be seeing you guys Monday for the weekly update. Other than that, I hope everyone is well. And I just want to say that again, if you would like to book a birth chart reading with me, then I will leave the information down in the description. And I also am a dream practitioner, so I help people analyze their dreams and integrate practical advice, so that way you can make the most of the intuitive guidance that comes through your dreams. Okay, so other than that, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.